For Reese Witherspoon, the global pandemic offered something unexpectedly enriching, a full immersion into the body of work of Denzel Washington.
In my humble opinion, in the nuclear world, the true enemy is war itself.
During COVID, I went through all Denzel's movies, she said in a conversation with Will Ferrell. Every single one. I'm obsessed. Her fascination with Washington isn't simply about star power or charisma, though he has both in spades.
You go on.
What draws her in is the precision of his performances, how he communicates power and vulnerability without ever breaking stride. From his Oscar-winning role in Training Day to the layered gravitas of Fences, Witherspoon finds in Washington the kind of mastery that makes you sit up straighter and pay attention. He's a masterclass in every scene, she added. It's not just about technique, it's about emotional honesty. She marvels at how he can appear terrifying in one moment and heartbreakingly tender in the next. That range, that control, has made him a personal benchmark. Watching him work has reshaped how she evaluates her own roles. She sees in his career a refusal to play it safe, a pattern of choosing complicated, morally ambiguous men and elevating them into something larger than the script. That willingness to embrace risk prompted Witherspoon to re-examine her own trajectory. When Meryl Streep was announced as part of the second season of Big Little Lies, Witherspoon was elated and terrified.
Oh, Mary Louise?
The boys told me you were having a pumpkin carving party. Sounded like so much fun.
Just sitting next to Meryl, I felt like I was absorbing decades of wisdom, she said. Every word she says is an education. Despite her own considerable resume, Witherspoon admitted to being starstruck and nervous. Streep, after all, had long been one of her idols, someone whose performances she'd studied with the intensity of a student revising for exams. Witherspoon has spoken often about the importance of Sophie's choice in her formative years. It showed her that a woman could carry a film emotionally, physically, and narratively. She's not just acting, she's living it, Witherspoon once remarked. But it wasn't just drama that impressed her. The Devil Wears Prada revealed Streep's capacity for precision, subtlety, and menace, all under the surface of glamour. Working alongside Streep proved to be more than an opportunity for admiration. It forced Witherspoon to elevate her own game. In every scene they shared, she felt the pull to dig deeper, to trust silence, to hold the camera with confidence. Streep had that effect on everyone on set, raising the standard simply by showing up. This experience inspired Witherspoon to chase collaborations with women she finds equally challenging and inspiring. Among the women Witherspoon has gravitated toward, none has had a more enduring impact than Nicole Kidman.
Hi, my name is Suzanne Moretto. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Suzanne Moretto is my married name.
Their friendship and creative partnership blossomed during the production of Big Little Lies, where both women served as producers as well as leads. But the connection predates that series. Nicole has been a role model since I was in my 20s, Witherspoon told Vanity Fair. Watching her transform into all these extraordinary characters, from the hours to birth, she's fearless.
I love you so much. Before I ever met you, I was your biggest fan, so this is such a fun night.
What Kidman represents for Witherspoon is elegance with edge. There's no flinching in her performances, even when the roles demand psychological exposure or physical transformation. Witherspoon credits Kidman's work in Rabbit Hole and Eyes Wide Shut as pivotal in helping her reframe what female-led cinema could look like. But perhaps more crucially, Kidman reinforced the idea that actresses can be power brokers behind the camera as well. Together, they co-founded Hello Sunshine's television arm, helping bring women-driven stories to the forefront. We weren't waiting for the phone to ring anymore, Witherspoon explained. We decided to build the work ourselves. That professional courage, bolstered by Kidman's example, led Witherspoon to look further back for the women who first made her believe it was possible. One of the earliest names to emerge when Witherspoon discusses her inspirations is Jodie Foster.
It means that all things being equal, the simplest explanation tends to be the right one.
Exactly.
Long before Witherspoon became an Oscar-winning actress or a producer with a slate of projects, she was a teenager watching The Accused and The Silence of the Lambs with a mixture of awe and ambition.
Well, it started as a bad joke in Kansas City Homicide. They said, "This one likes to skin his humps."
Foster wasn't just an actress, she was a Yale-educated director with a sharp intellect and an unapologetic presence. Seeing a young woman direct a major motion picture, that was a game-changer for me, Witherspoon said in an interview. Jodie gave me the idea that I could produce and direct, not just act. Foster's transition from child actor to critically acclaimed filmmaker offered Witherspoon a roadmap for longevity, for maintaining autonomy in an industry that often eats its own. It's no coincidence that Witherspoon's work behind the scenes, through her company Hello Sunshine, mirrors Foster's own dual career. Both seek stories that center on women, that grapple with identity and consequence, and that never patronize the audience. Foster, Witherspoon noted, showed that you can be brilliant and still be taken seriously as a woman in Hollywood. This balance between artistry and authority would also surface in the work of another actress who became a defining presence in Witherspoon's imagination. If Jodie Foster gave Witherspoon the intellectual blueprint, Holly Hunter offered the emotional one. Her performance in The Piano was, according to Witherspoon, raw and vulnerable and powerful. In an era that often demanded women be either strong or soft, Hunter was both. Holly taught me that silence can be louder than any dialogue, Witherspoon recalled. She could break your heart without saying a word. Hunter's gift lies in her intensity. Whether playing a fiercely independent violinist in The Piano or a neurotic news producer in broadcast news, she embodies characters with complete conviction.
Have! Because I think we have the kind of friendship where if I were the devil, you'd be the only one I would tell.
Well, you were awfully quick to run after Tom.
Witherspoon took particular note of Hunter's stillness, her ability to command the screen through restraint rather than theatrics. This influence is evident in some of Witherspoon's own best performances, particularly in Wild and Walk the Line. Both roles required her to convey trauma and resilience without overplaying it. She credits Hunter with teaching her that a woman's strength on screen doesn't have to be shouted. It can be lived in the silence, in the moments where the audience leans in rather than pulls back. That emotional authenticity became even more necessary when Witherspoon found herself working closely with someone who had become both friend and creative equal. Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston have a history that goes back to the early 2000s, when Witherspoon made a guest appearance on Friends as Rachel Green's younger sister.
Hi, is Rachel here? I'm her sister.
Oh my God, Jill!
Oh my God, Rachel!
Hi!
Oh my God, introduce us.
But it wasn't until the morning show that their professional partnership truly took shape. Witherspoon has said of Aniston, "She's the definition of professionalism and poise. Watching how she prepares, how generous she is on set, it's inspiring." Unlike some of her other idols, Aniston didn't come from a background in independent cinema or award-winning prestige dramas. She built her career in network television, mastering the rhythm and timing of comedy before shifting into more dramatic roles. For Witherspoon, this made Aniston's evolution even more impressive. She watched her navigate the pressures of fame, the scrutiny of the tabloids, and still emerge with control over her image and career. What Witherspoon most admires, though, is Aniston's dual capacity for lightness and gravity. Her comedic timing is surgical, she once said, but she also knows when to drop the mask and let the vulnerability show. This became especially evident on The Morning Show, where both actresses played characters wrestling with betrayal, identity, and public scrutiny. If working with Aniston has confirmed anything for Witherspoon, it's that staying power in Hollywood isn't just about talent, it's about grace under fire, and the ability to grow without losing one's sense of self. If you found this video on Reese Witherspoon's acting influences revealing, then you'll want to watch our deep dive into the 6 actresses who inspired Nicole Kidman, featuring Cate Blanchett, Naomi Watts, and more. Just click the thumbnail on screen now to keep watching.